We all have an inner critic. What is the inner critic? It is that nagging voice inside your head that expresses disapproval and criticism and judgment of our actions and our thoughts. And we don't want to continue to listen to those thoughts. So, in this video, I'm going to be sharing 4 powerful steps so that you can begin to tame your inner critic. You may recognize that voice that says, "You're not smart enough," or "You look fat in that outfit," or "You'll probably be alone forever." Your inner critic can keep you from the life and the love life that you want. And so we're going to challenge that nasty critical voice. But let's first understand, what is the inner critic's job? Believe it or not, it's a part of you that's trying to help you stay safe. It doesn't want you to get hurt, so it tries to stop you from taking risks, like falling in love and being vulnerable and open, applying for that job that feels like a reach, trying out for something that feels scary. This type of safety is not good for you. It keeps you small. It may have protected you in the past, but it doesn't anymore. And it keeps you from the life and the love that you want. Unfortunately, you can't just abolish your inner critic. You can't just say, "Stop, we're done." Because that voice, those voices have been with you for a long, long time, but you sure can tame them. And here's how. Number 1, acknowledge the presence of your inner critic. Who is your inner critic? If it was a being, if you can imagine it having flesh and bones, what would it look like? What would it sound like? Give it a name. What are those voices that play in your heads, especially when it comes to dating and relationships? So I want you to write down the name of your inner critic, if you can name it, and write down all the voices, all the things your inner critic says to you. Number 2, separate yourself from your inner critic. Write down what the inner critic says in second person as you statements. For example, a thought like, "I can't get a date. I'll never find a partner," can be written down as, "You can't get a date. You'll never find a partner." This helps you see that these thoughts are a separate point of view. They're not part of you and they're not true. Notice how hostile your internal enemy can be. "You'll never get a partner" instead of "I'll never get a partner." Very, very different. Number 3, respond and set a boundary every time the critic shows up. So each time you hear that critic's judgments, replace them with something more compassionate. Write down in the first person as I statements. For example, in response to a thought like, "You'll never get a date," you could write down, "I may struggle with dating at times, but I'm lovable, smart, and I would make a great partner to the right man." This exercise is not meant to build you up or boost your ego, but to show you that there's a kinder, more honest attitude that you can have towards yourself. And number 4, don't follow the advice of your inner critic. Instead, tune in and follow your own inner guidance. Your critical inner voice may get louder. It might tell you to work harder. It might tell you not to take chances. But when you identify and you separate from the inner critic and you act against this destructive thought process, you're going to grow stronger and your inner critic is going to grow weaker. Practice these 4 steps over and over until they're ingrained in your psyche, because over time, your inner critic will begin to be tamer and you'll be able to access your highest, your most authentic, wonderful self. And that is the wellspring of all the best choices that you're going to make. If you are struggling with the inner critic, you're in luck, because that is the topic that we are covering this month in my group coaching Woman of Value Club. It is a monthly club. You can join for only $7 if you're not yet a member. And we talk about topics like inner critic and safety in dating and communication skills and boundaries and all the things that really matter most. And I hope to see you there.